Good afternoon, guys. Just me again. Would like to talk to you in this video about a bit of a practical slash theoretical theoretical view of the concept of the canonical version of a page. So before I get into, of course, we talked about it in class, so you know now probably a little bit, you could remember a little bit about what we talked about with the canonical. But let's take this very interesting example here. Before I get started, would like to say that I'm going to be using the Yoast plugin. The Yoast, I've been talking about this plugin ever since the beginning of the semester. This is a very popular plugin when it comes to digital marketing. You can't just take a digital marketing course and not know about this plugin. All right, so now having this plugin activated, I would like to take you through a website that I have created, but it's not active, and I will show you the little bit about the structure of the site. I have so many different categories on this site. As you can see, I have baby assortments, I have boys baby clothing, and then I have Christmas collection, and then I have costumes, and then I have fall collection for boys, for girls, then I have girls baby clothing, you see that, and then outdoor or outwear and coats, sorry. Then I have different sets, rompers, and sleep and pad. So many different categories, isn't there? Now I would like to focus on one little category here, is the costumes, because I know that this category could give me a very nice example for canonicals. Most of these costumes, as you can see, are for boys and for girls. These are Christmas costumes or Halloween and so on. So they fit for girls and for boys. However, as you can see, I don't have a category as unisex. I have a category for boys, a category for girls, different categories for different collections or campaigns that I throw in there. So let's take a look at this page. Okay. So this is a fleece holiday season rompers. Yeah. This is under fall collection boys. Yeah. However, I can tell you that this product over here doesn't only belong to this category. It belongs to the boys baby rompers. It's also under rompers, under boys and the rompers. It's under costumes, where you've seen it right now. It's under fall collections, boys and girls. As you can see, I got into this product through, if you remember just now, through costumes. Yeah. However, it is in fact here in the breadcrumbs, and you know what a breadcrumb is. If you were watching the flip videos when I was talking about the Google console, I talked about the breadcrumbs and their importance in the digital marketing SEO. So here I see that it is under fall collection. The system by default decided that it's going to be under the fall collection. In any case, I could change that. It's not the issue. The issue here for me is this page has so many different copies. It is under rompers, under boys. It's under rompers here, and then it is under rompers girls, and then it is under the fall collection for boys and girls, and it's under costumes. So many, right? How many, if we're gonna count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 different pages, as you can see. Let me take a look. Product, I even put here product, fleece holiday. I got rid of, okay, this is a very nice, interesting thing to do. This is not a very good practice, I have to admit. Listen up, lovely people. I try to kind of circumvent around the system. Here is the situation. The best practice in writing a URL, in fact, is for us to have it as the domain, the category, and then the product itself. I silence the category. Why? Because I will have so many different pages with so many different categories. The same page with so many different categories. So I will have the category here being, as I explained just earlier, we'll have different categories over here. So I will have 6 different pages with costumes, and then the name of the, here would be costumes, and then fleece, holiday, blah, blah, blah. Boys clothing or rompers also / blah, blah, blah. I got rid of this problem by automating the URL structure in such a manner that it avoids the category, and this will be product, fleece, blah, blah, blah. This is not a good practice for, it's not a good practice for this, for a URL. However, it helped me avoid the canonical because I would have only one page, as you can see. But let's say you want to abide to the to the best practices of a URL, which in fact depends on the hierarchical structure of a category. So you have like, here is boys. Let's say that mainly my business is boys and then girls. And then I have cat 1, which is category 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, and so on. Yeah, so I will have different categories. Let's say that 2n, whatever the number of categories. Let's say that I have here category 1 and category 1 here, which is rompers, let's say, and I have a product here, product X, which is a product that I just showed you. It's the same product, exact same product. Yeah, however, here this product page is the www.https, whatever it is, and then the domain name. So it's going to have the domain, then it's going to have the category, which is category 1, then it's going to have X. Over here, the URL structure will be different. The URL structure will be www domain, then cat1, and then X. Sokka. I put here. Okay. I wanted to put this in such a way that it reflects what we've done just here. Wait a minute. Where is it? Here. Here. So we have boys and then rompers, but then we have rompers separately. So let's say that this is boys, or let's say that this is rompers. In general, what I wanted to say, there is domain, there is rompers, then X. There is domain, there is costumes, yeah, then X. So basically, and then this is a URL, and this is a URL. This is a page, page 1, and this is page 2. So each and every one of these is a different page, yeah? So this means that this page and this page are exactly same but have a different URL. I got rid of this by replacing the category with the product. So if I have the word product and then the URL of the page, that will solve it all. So I won't have multiple pages. But let's say in a certain business you have to have the category, which is true actually. It's a good practice that you do have the category done. So included in the URL. So what would you do in such a case? So in such a case, what you do is you specify one of these pages as the original, As a startup business, you won't know which one will be the winning one, meaning the one with there's URL 1. Then we have URL 2, which also has a domain, the one that has more traffic, yeah? And then here girls, for example, and then X. Then you have URL 3, which is domain boys clothing, yeah? And then X. Yeah, so you don't know which one is going to be the winning one. So you're going to have a bit and say, you know what, I'm just going to put it as rumbers. Yeah, this is what 1-year kids usually wear. So maybe I will just say that this is the original. I will set up this page as canonical. This is the canonical. So this URL is a canonical URL. It's an original URL. What does that mean? This means the crawler comes here on the URL, and then at the head, immediately I'm going to tell him there is an original for this. This is not the original. This is a copy. And the original, I'll redirect you to the original. The original is this. The same. The browser comes, want to read this page, looks at the head part of the HTML, and then it sees that I've had a meta tag for canonical, meaning that this is a copy. The canonical is right there. So I'm actually directing it to the canonical or directing it to the original. So in this case, yeah, this is a good practice for digital marketing, for optimizing your page, for SEO. And in this case, you will not waste the time of the crawler, and you will abide to the best practices. On ground, how do you do this? For example, this is a page, and I'm using Yoast. Of course, you need to write the over here. I've given you just now an example of writing a title and a description. So you need to provide a meta description for each and every product, as you can see here. So this is painful, really painful. Let's see, where's the canonical? Canonical URL is right there. Yeah. So you go to advanced, and on the canonical URL, you are telling, if you add a canonical URL, then you are telling the browser that this page is a copy and this is the URL of the original. So the original, if this is the original page, if this is the page that you think the crawler should crawl, and this is most favorable, and this is the page that you want the crawler to, or the pod to crawl, and just avoid or skip the other pages and just crawl this one, then you don't have to add anything in here. So if there is no URL, which is the default, this means that this page is the original page. There aren't any copies for, like, this is not a copy, yeah? But if this page, if you want to consider this page or set it up as a copy, in this case, you add the canonical URL, all right? So you add the URL, the canonical URL here for the copy, not the original. And the URL that you're providing is the URL of the original. Yeah, in this case, this is a good practice. I kind of like, I took a turn. I took a little bit of a time-saving mechanism. It's not a good practice, but it saved me a lot because it saved my time. This is a very big website, and I'm not using it to generate any money. Unfortunately, I don't have the time, but hopefully soon, when I have some time, would like to activate this site in particular, because this site, I had spent some good time on this site. Well, usually I do niche kind of sites. This site is not a niche. You have seen how I have so many different categories, and for this purpose I still need to populate it with more products, because this is not a niche site, and I wanna, it's a different experience also running a non-niche site. So I'm still waiting for that time where I have some time to dedicate to run this site successfully. I hate to fail, so I'm just waiting for some time to fix everything, and also switch the product thing here into a category and then had to work on my canonical. Yeah, had to work on my canonical. This is why if you've been a loyal student of mine watching all the videos that I've been putting on the flip, probably noticed in the Google console video that I got really very good feedback from Google. My site is highly optimized. There isn't any errors. There's any more things to work on. And back in the time, one of the things that I needed to work on were the canonicals, in fact. But I didn't have the time, so I thought that this would be a very good way to, like a leeway, to avoid dealing with this. Let me remember how I've done that. In fact, you go to settings and you go to general. And in the settings and general, this is some of the students also may have some problems with their domains, right? So you can fix your domain URL here. Also, if you had some problems with your LLS certificate, like you actually got the secure like the certificate, the SLL certificate, then what you need to do is you need to add the S. Sometimes you need to manually add the S to your HTTP here. So if you had any problems with your SSL certificate, then yeah, you can fix it here. Okay. For digital marketers, you need to understand that SSL is a very good practice. The SSL certificate is very important. This is where it adds the secure gateway here with the S added to the HTTPS, especially in e-commerce. All right, so where do you do the what? Not here? Not in general? There aren't any tabs around here. Where is it? It should be maybe somewhere. Kind of forgot where appearance. No. Not under pages. It was under settings, if I remember correctly, wasn't it? Permalinks, maybe? Yeah, good. Very good memory. So it's under settings and under permalinks. So permalinks here, down here is very important. So the default is a product, sample product. Yeah. So this is the default. So in fact, this custom thing is the same as the default. So here's the default is the same. It's a product and then the product. The shop base is shop and then the product. Yeah. So you could put it like that. It doesn't matter. It's the same product or shop. Then shop base with category. Then you have shop and then the product category and then the product. Yeah. This can give you a lot of headache. This can give you a lot of canonicals. The shop base with category can give you a lot of canonicals. So you could avoid canonical links by choosing either the shop base or the default, which is the product. In fact, this is the same as this. Yeah. And here save changes. So yeah, it will be yeah, you see, I actually set it to default and it put it as custom. So this is how I avoided canonicals for e-commerce if you're interested. And this is how you deal with canonicals if you have any canonicals under your site. Now, avoiding canonicals with this strategy isn't the best practice. The best practice for writing a URL is to have the category and then the product name, to say the truth. So it's a trade-off. In terms of SEO, I was able to avoid a lot of trouble and avoid wasting or spending or investing much time on fixing the canonicals here. All right, this is it for canonicals, and I hope that this video was interesting and was able to clearly explain how to deal with Canonicals, and how to use the Yoast plugin to deal with Canonicals. Thank you so much, guys, and please spend the rest of the time of today's class wisely. Finish up the exercise, and if you don't mind, guys, just go over Moodle, and I added there a survey to collect data. If you really like me and like the class, and as a sense of appreciation and saying thank you, could you kindly just take less than 5 minutes? It's just less than 5 minutes. Could you kindly complete the survey if you haven't done so already? I really appreciate it, and I'm really thankful for your cooperation with research activities at Tokyo International University. Thank you so much, guys. Enjoy the weekend. Goodbye.